3 days after reintroduction of stiffer safety protocol to contain the spread of the coronavirus, the government has launched a major crackdown on facilities flouting the health requirements. And as Nimrod Tabu reports, several restaurants and bars in Nairobi were shut after their operating licenses were revoked for flouting COVID-19 protocol.
Without a doubt, the city of Nairobi is the epicenter of the COVID-19 pandemic since the disease was first recorded in the country. For several months, the county of Nairobi has continued to record soaring numbers, both fatalities and infections, the worst month being October. And now those managing the affairs of the city want to control the spread at all cost. This is a popular food joint in the Central Business District. This is where public health officials started their door-to-door inspection today. They are here to find out whether the laid out protocols are being followed to the letter. Their surveillance includes checking the last time the restaurant was fumigated, the cleanliness around the dining area, as well as the kitchen, and whether the personnel have COVID-19 negative certificates. Social distance is also top in their priority list. To ensure that the management has adhered to the social distance regulations, measurements of the distance between tables, seats and the passageway are taken. This was one of the key information to determine whether the restaurant will retain its operating license or not. Most of the restaurants in town also have a little pub, usually on the upper floor or at a corner somewhere. The public health officials head there too. According to the officers, the sitting spaces here do not meet the health protocols, and this is going to be a problem, the health officials say. The public health officers then moved to another restaurant. Here, everything appeared okay until the health officers noticed that most of the tables had either 4 seats or 3. This is currently discouraged by the Ministry of Health. Luckily for the management, there were no customers, so all they were instructed to do was to move some chairs into the back room. The officers were only satisfied when the tables had 2 chairs, each on opposite sides. The health officers are off to the third restaurant. Things also appear to be running smoothly in here, and there were very few customers. However, the setting of the tables and the chairs was a concern. Too crowded, the officers say. Soon, the manager is summoned. After a few minutes, the officers request him for the restaurant's temporary license. The bar area was also inspected.
We have closed like 4 because they are not meeting, not really closing, but just stopping operation and withdrawing their COVID-19 certificates as they rearrange themselves and then reapply for certification to be able to continue operating as they operate within the protocols.
But the streets of Nairobi pose a higher risk as far as COVID-19 is concerned. We watched with despair as people went about their businesses without a care for wearing masks or even physical distancing. These ones were catching up for a light talk. Motorcyclists are also carrying passengers without wearing masks or helmets. Officials say this don't care attitude is what will make efforts to defeat the pandemic fail miserably.
The most important thing is the issue of social distancing, the issue of hand washing, the issue of putting on masks.
Health officers say they are only waiting for police officers to be assigned to them before they can embark on inspecting public service vehicles too. The situation is the same in Nyeri. Business as usual, as locals ignored the health protocols in disregard to the new on-the-spot 20,000 shillings fine or 6 months jail term to be imposed for flouting mask requirement.
Kuambia polisi atufaini 20,000. Hiyo ni jukumu nzito sana kwa sababu ukimpatia 500 kwake watu wamekula. Kwa hivyo ataona ni duka amefunguliwa. Kwa hivyo naomba serikali iangalie stages zote, ilete mask.
And in Muranga, scores were arrested for flouting curfew rules. A raid on bars found several patrons locked inside, drinking with lights off. Health officials say the inspection exercise in restaurants and bars will continue. Meanwhile, public health officials say matatus are also becoming problematic. This is a video taken by one of the passengers in one of the matatus within Kirinyaga. No physical distancing at all. Even the conductor has no space to sit.